The ups and downs of the University of Michigan football team continue. A 24-21 loss to Illinois on Saturday, and the emotion of the locker room in Penn State, Coach Moeller, was so high. Then the emotion after the game against Illinois as low as I've ever seen it, I believe. Well,
for good reason, Jim. Obviously, we didn't play the kind of football that we're capable or should be playing at this stage. And really, it gets down to one thing, and it's a very simple statistic that you look at. When somebody else can run the ball better than you can, then you're in trouble. We got to be better up front on both sides of the ball, and that's what it boiled down to.
You said after the game, and you didn't mince any words, you said it's an issue of toughness.
Right. I mean, you got to get physical up front. You like to get as much experience as you possibly can. You got to gain that experience, and we're banged up some, but we have to play with those players that are there, and we all have to learn from it, and we're basically going to stick together, and we're going to get better.
All right, we'll be back, and we'll take a look at Michigan versus Illinois when we return on Michigan Replay.
Losing, so I mean, I don't feel as good as I should.
Derek Alexander kind of says it best. He had a great day, but the score didn't show Michigan on top, so it turned out to be a bad day. And opening up the game against Illinois, the one thing I think that had to worry you is that they were able to move the ball early against your defense.
Right. That always concerns you, Jim, and always puts you in a position where you try to play a little bit with your offense in that respect. But they did a good job on some things, and we just didn't adjust with our players like we should have. They're going to hit some passes, and I don't like that, as they do here, hitting Olsen over the middle for 20 yards, and then that quarterback goes back. And Johnson's a talented kid from the standpoint that he can scramble, and he throws the ball quite well, too, and there he likes to run. But these are the kind of plays, those things hurt you, but it's plays like this. They run a counter play, and we over-penetrate. They come off with 10 yards. Now you're playing both sides of the fence.
And the thing about the running game is that although they get a touchdown here on the passing game, it was set up by the play-action pass.
Oh, there's no question. So you got to defend the run a little bit harder, and some of our kids got out of position a little bit. And then there was times where we showed good signs of shutting them down.
At that point, 7-0, you come back on your next possession, hit a big third down play here to Derek Alexander. And then Illinois helps you on this drive with some penalties. Here's a 3rd and 17 play that's incomplete, but they get a roughing the passer call.
We're trying to get the ball downfield here. Derek may have come back and caught that ball, but they do rough the passer, which gives us an opportunity to go down the field again.
They come back, you come back rather on offense and go to the air. Nice pass to Derek, standing over on the sideline pretty much by himself, moving the ball fairly smartly after the penalties.
Right. We come down, and here in a play-action type thing, we fake the draw, and we throw to Derek deep, and Todd gets his arm hit there, and the ball goes up in the air, and Derek makes a great play there, going up and out, rebounding people. And as you indicated, he had a good day. He had 2 of our touchdowns. He and Amani Toomer had the other one. Our lack of rushing the football was the thing that killed us.
You did contain Johnson a little bit better. You didn't give him as many lanes on occasion to scramble up. Here, Trevor Price makes a sack.
Right. Early in the game, he scrambled a few times. And those players are going to do that. And it hurts, right. But as long as they can't run the ball, then you can live with those things.
Here you roll out, and this is a big play by Amani Toomer.
Yeah, Amani Toomer catches the ball, shows some good speed here and good moves. I think this is going to reinforce his thinking that he has the potential to hang on to the football and make big plays with it.
The problem is that you score and go on top with that big play, you hold them deep and then let them out of the hole right before half.
Right before half, when we hopefully could have got the ball back, turned around, went down, and scored ourselves. They come back, and again, with plays like this, again, the passes bother you, but this is the deal, Jim. You can't let a guy. Dothert had about 89 yards, I believe, rushing at halftime.
And that's way too much. You got to stop the run, and you just weren't able to do that today. They do a nice job, I thought, of rolling Johnson out, giving him an opportunity. Hits the tight end there. You
gotta keep him inside the pocket. And here he feels a blitz coming, and he throws quick over the middle. They get a short touchdown, or excuse me, the short just made it by inches. And then Tony Henderson comes up with a big play on the goal line. Throw him back, but as you indicate, with the short time left in the first half, 21 seconds, I believe, they were able to kick a field goal.
So it's 14-10 at the half. You got to be concerned because they moved the football on you more than anything, right?
Right, that, and compounded with the fact that we weren't rushing the football, and not nearly like we should. And that's where, I don't know if it's inexperience or whatever, but that's where you got to take over with those people up front. We got to demonstrate some toughness. Our backs have to run tougher. We got to come out the other end. But we got to start squeaking out some first downs, keep our defense off the field, and control the ball. But when we rush like we did today and they rush like they did, then you're going to have trouble.
And the Wolverines did have trouble in the second half. It manifested itself in the final minutes. Don't go away. We'll be back. Take a look at the highlights in the second half when Michigan Replay continues.
And you got to keep them contained, and it's up to us, the defensive backs, to stay on the receivers no matter how hard he scrambles. You know, we were in coverage that, you know, it shouldn't have been, you know, he shouldn't have got the touchdown, but unfortunately the quarterback made a good play and he beat us.
Ty Law talking about the play that Johnson made to beat the Wolverines in the closing minutes, but back up to the top of the second half. You didn't get a whole lot of help starting out the second half from your special teams. They come on a big return.
Big 64-yard return. And, Jim, we were poor on special teams today. I thought Stapleton punted the ball extremely well at times, and when that happens, they're going to get some returns. But here we miss a tackle there, and then he gets down to the sideline, takes it inside our 30.
Walter Smith, great job. Touchdown-saving tackle there, because later on you'll see how important it is. 3rd and 9, though, and they come up with a big play.
Right. That happened too often when they just had a guy out here in the flat and they take it down inside our 20 to about the 15-yard line.
But your defense comes up big, coming up with a big play here on a running play, Jared Irons.
Right, we started stopping the counter play better, and there we got the linebackers over. And I think as the game went on, believe me, I think our 2 young linebackers got a little bit better, and Jared Irons gets a big play there.
And then you go to the big play, and this is a huge play.
Right, we needed to do this, Jim, and even though they're all up there, you got to still be able to run the ball, and then sometimes you can get them out of position, and plays like these are going to happen. You don't draw it up to be a 90-yarder, but at the same time, those plays are going to happen when they're up there aggressively. Now we're in command in a respect, 21-10.
And we're into the 4th quarter now, and Illinois starts coming back, and again, running the ball in the sweep. Didn't get any contain on that one.
Right, we should have had the ball turned inside. You got to get upfield and get penetration. And then here we scramble a little bit, and as he scrambles out, then he can dump the ball off in the flat as he does there.
Here you're on a 4th down now, and they hit the tight end over the middle. This one was a huge play for them. They're still down 11. That kept their drive alive.
Right, they get down inside there, and then they come with a counter-type handoff play back in the goal line and score and make it 21-17.
21-17 at this point. There's plenty of time left. You get very poor field position and start knocking it out.
Yeah, we run the ball with Ricky, and you see he's running strong here, and unfortunately we didn't have that success right at the end when we needed it.
Third
and one here, yeah, Jim, I thought we got a terrible spot here, which really hurt us, and I thought we could have remained or continued to have the ball, but we had to punt, and they got a good punt return.
And then they come back, hit a long pass, but you make another big play defensively.
Right, Shante Peoples comes up, and Ty Law there and make the good play, knock the ball loose, and Matt Dyson gets the ball.
So now you've got the ball back, and you're coming down. It's down in there around a minute, and you're moving it, and you're going to close the game away. Here you are at 3rd and 6. Nice pass here to
Shea Foster.
Right.
It'd been nice if Shea could have stayed in bounds right there. Could have kept that clock going, which is one thing we were working against. But here with a minute and 20 seconds, we snap the ball here, and we're running up. We get some yardage, and we drop the ball, unfortunately.
Now they come back. That gives them the chance, and I think momentum-wise, they feel like they've got a chance. And with Johnson as the quarterback, kind of a scrambler, never know what's going to happen. They go to the shotgun and start hitting some passes.
Right, and they come down here and they hit an out cut, which we're laying a little, we're off here. We know that they had to score a touchdown. They come back and then they throw over the middle, pick up too many yards right there. We got to tackle the guy and not let him get clear down in there.
And they come down again, and this is the big play, 4th and 6.
4th down, he scrambles, and we got him clear to 4th and 6, as you indicate. So you know he's going to throw. He has to throw one up, and that's where he made a smart play. But the ball traveled far enough that should have got a grip on that ball, or somebody could have batted it down. But the pressure was there, and you got to say they made a play.
They made a play, and this is the Norwegian Cruise Line's play of the week. Of course, a record breaker, 90 yards, the longest pass for a touchdown in Michigan football history. Todd Collins to Derek Alexander. The Norwegian Cruise Line play of the week didn't do a whole lot of good for the Wolverines against the Illini. And the one question you ask, I heard a lot of it after the game, when Ricky Powers fumbled the football late, a lot of people wondering why he just didn't set on the ball. You couldn't have run out the clock then, right?
Well, I think what we'd end up doing, and what I was nervous about, is there's the possibility of them blocking a punt at the end. We'd had a number of seconds left. But, you know, we had done that so often, and I can remember Notre Dame and Illinois in the past where we hand the ball off to Ricky, and he takes it down in there and makes some good shallow cuts. And I didn't want to punt the football, and I felt very secure in doing it.
One more first down and game's over anyway, and Ricky was gaining yardage, and he had yardage on that play.
Right, and as you run the ball, Jim, and the pile moves a little bit, and everybody gets off, you also eat up a lot of valuable seconds where you don't when you just kneel down with your quarterback.
How disappointed is Gary Moeller at this point? I mean, you got to be just heartbroken in the sense that this is a game, another one you should have won, it just got away.
Right. I think we should have won it, Jim, because we put ourselves in the opportunity to win. If we'd have won the game, I'd have felt fortunate from the standpoint that we really did get outstatted, which to me shouldn't have happened. And we are a team, very disappointed, but the players are also disappointed. We will stay together as a team, and we know we got a lot of work to do, and we will get after it and work, and we're going to put something together in this.
It's not over, and the Wolverines will be back. I can guarantee it. Don't go away. We'll be back to take a look at some of those great wide receivers that the Wolverines showcase every Saturday when Michigan Replay continues.
Well, you got to realize that they got the ball. They had a big play. We called it a fumble. So, you know, in that aspect, fair is fair, trade for a trade. But, you know, we had this game, you know, and it hurts a little more right there because I was walking the tunnel. Let's go. You know, I plan on walking this tunnel happy and jubilant that we won the game, but it's not that way. So we just got to move on.
Derek Alexander, Walter Smith, Amani Toomer, and Mercury Hayes all get playing time and can all make plays. All of them want playing time, but there's only so much to go around. It also shouldn't be a surprise that the two veterans of the group put the playing time issue in perspective.
We have grown in kind of a team aspect now that if we win, we don't have to catch any balls, and that's what Cam has started in our receiver group.
I think this year, we have a lot of receivers that can do a lot of different things. I mean, all of us have different talents, and we just come together, and when we form as a group, you know, we're going to be hard to stop.
The guys who must decide who gets the quality time are Cam Cameron and T.J. Wiest of the Michigan coaching staff. It's not easy making those decisions, but they do have a method.
When everyone's kind of equal and competing, you know, the older guys kind of getting the nod. You know, it was Chris and Greg, and then it was Desmond, you know, and then it was Derek, you know, and if Derek hadn't gotten banged up, he'd probably have 30, 40 catches right now because we're going to gear things to our senior guy because he's earned it and he's been here the longest. And it's up for the young guys to learn from Derek and learn from Walter, and then it's going to be the next guys coming in to learn from Mercury and Amani and Feldman, just like Desmond did from Chris and Greg.
That's Chris Callaway and Greg McMurtry, if you've forgotten, and they're both now in the NFL. And don't think for a minute that the younger guys don't realize how much they can learn from their veteran teammates. The apprenticeship certainly isn't lost on Mercury Hayes and Amani Toomer.
Yeah, I think not only watching them helps you take a little bit from every receiver, but also when you get called upon, you really have to take advantage of your opportunity, and that's one thing that's ultimately going to make us better players.
What they learn already and what they have done in the past and stuff like that make me get better because I see how good walk block, and then I see how good DA can catch, so I put them two together. I can't lose.
Certainly a good group of receivers, and Mo, with the offensive line struggling, the running game struggling, they're going to become even more valuable, more important to the Michigan football team.
Right, they have an important role. They got to, number one, be able to convert on third down, and I thought Derek did that a couple times a day, and we had some success there. And I think the other thing they have to do is be able to take the pressure And that's what we try to do with them on early downs, to take the pressure off of the running game with keeping the extra defender out of there. And when we're doing that, we should be able to run the football. But today, we did not demonstrate that.
Talk about running the football. Sometimes does the pass open up the run if you're successful passing?
Oh, there's no question about it. And it gives you a chance for the big play, as we had Derek, you know, on the big touchdown thing. So you have to have a combination of both. But, Jim, if you're going to be a successful football team over the long haul, statistics will show you in any league that you play in, you must rush the football. I don't run the football just to be stubborn and run the ball. I know the best way to build a football team and what it takes. And therefore, you know, we just got to continue to improve up front, because we should be better than we were, and we got to continue to work in that fashion. We're young. You got to realize that we're young. We have 2 starters back when you really look at it. We have a tailback back and Derek Alexander, a receiver from last year's team. So we're young, but we're gonna work at it.
And they're gonna have to work pretty quickly, because the Badgers of Wisconsin are next week. Don't.
We could practice and, you know, avoid the mistakes we made this week against this team in this game, and not make them against Wisconsin, because if we do, you know, it could get bad, you know.
Obviously, the Michigan team's got to come back from the loss at Illinois and face a pretty tough Wisconsin Badger team. Even though Wisconsin was upset Saturday night by Minnesota 28-21, they're still a formidable team in Madison, Coach, and that's where you've got to go. Barry Alvarez.